Now Anna will give us the welcoming words to this international workshop on food loss and food waste. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here with you today and welcome you to this workshop. On behalf of the World Bank, I would like to thank the Commission for Environmental Cooperation, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, Environment Canada, Mexico's Secretariat of Environment and Natural Resources, members of the Mexican Congress and Senate, UNEP, FAO, the Korean Partnership, all the government and multilateral representatives, the NGO and civil society, and the representatives of food banks. I especially want to recognize the Korea Green Growth Trust Fund and the Commission for Environmental Cooperation in North America, who co-sponsored this workshop with the World Bank. Food loss and waste are not new concepts, especially not to those in this room, but today we better understand their impacts. We know more and more about the often alarming social, environmental, agricultural, and economic impacts. Each year, about 1/3 of food production is lost and not consumed. In North America and Europe, on average, between 95 and 150 kilograms per person of food is lost, while in sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia, we're seeing between 6 and 11 kilograms of food thrown away per person per year. In developing countries, we see 40% of this loss take place at production and harvesting. And in middle income and developed countries, we're seeing 40% of loss at the end of the chain at retail and consumption. Well, clearly with these kind of statistics, food waste prevention needs to be addressed from every part of the food cycle, from production to transport to consumption to waste management, and then from waste management back to use again, to resources. The challenge is to promote actions from farm to plate. The urgency of this has been recognized in the Sustainable Development Goals, which include a target for 2030 of cutting in half the per capita food waste and loss. The World Bank, through its financing, knowledge, and partnerships, is helping to reach that SDG goal. With our partner countries, we're taking on this task, but it is large and complex. It calls for action across all of our technical areas, across our environment, agriculture, infrastructure, and urban management teams, and it calls for action on the policy, legal, technical, and social awareness fronts. So we are hopeful that this workshop will help move us forward on those challenges, and specifically, first, to shed light on the current global dimensions of food loss and food waste. Second, to identify best practices, lessons, and approaches to address food loss and food waste. And finally, to examine what governments and the private sector are doing, and to better determine how institutions like the World Bank or FAO or UNEP can help in this agenda. Well, I don't want to keep you too much further from an exciting 3 days. Let me all thank you again for coming together around this important agenda, and I'm confident with the knowledge, capacity, and dedication here that it'll be a really fruitful 3 days. Thank you very much.